Hello my friends and welcome back to the rabbit hole. In today's video we are doing Is It Science Part 2, which includes quite a few of what you guys have asked me to talk about. I hope you enjoy this video because I may not like everything that you asked me about. I do think this is a really fun video though. We're going to go over anti-acne pillowcases, we're going to go over Jade and Crystal Rollers, and we're going to go over Dermarollers microneedling. So I'm going to dive right in and talk about anti-acne pillowcases first. Before I get to the one I'm about to show you, I got to tell you, if you've been on this channel long enough, you know this is not the first time I've talked about silver pillowcases on this channel. So this was, I believe, last fall during Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty. They had a silver pillowcase by Sleep Laundry. Now, I had not tried one at this point, but I did put it in my sale video. I talked about how I was going to get it, and then I hauled it later. I still have the haul video. I was deleting my old sale videos for a while because I didn't think they were relevant, but I kind of regret that sometimes. Long story short, I was really quite disappointed in this pillowcase. First off, it retailed for $30. I got it for $15 on sale, but for a $30 pillowcase, it felt just like one from Amazon Basics. And not only that, what bothered me even more was this was supposed to be, you know, a silver treated pillowcase, and it very clearly said on the box, although not the website, that the silver washes out. So I really didn't have a good initial experience with silver pillowcases. Now fast forward to January, and a company called Sylvan reached out to me, wanted to send me a silver pillowcase, and I ignored their initial email. It's kind of because I tend to think that companies are just, you know, reaching out to as many people as they can. But by the second email, I realized, okay, they're actually talking to me as a person, curious about my opinion on this, so I looked into it a little deeper. I really try to view PR the same way that I view purchasing a product because it's still my time and energy that's going to go into that product. So I ended up saying yes. They sent me the pillowcase, and all I can tell you is it's been a completely different experience, but let me explain why. So the idea behind silver pillowcases being anti-acne is that silver is a very powerful antimicrobial agent. In fact, we've done tons of research on it. It's powerful enough to fight even things like MRSA. And to elaborate, the idea is that if you are laying your head at night on your pillowcase, you are, you know, kind of creating this breeding ground for bacteria that you continue to put your face in. And yes, you can wash your pillowcase as frequently as possible, but let's be realistic about how often this happens. I don't know about you guys. I'm a busy person. I don't wash my pillowcase every night. So Sylvan sent me 2 of these. I kept one so that I could show you a freshly opened pillowcase. And if you want a better picture of this, you can go on their website. But basically, this is actually sewn with silver fibers into it. So unlike that pillowcase that I was unimpressed with, the silver in this isn't going to wash out. And it's actually a very luxurious pillowcase. So all this is to say, this same exact principle manifesting as 2 products from 2 different companies gave me 2 completely different experiences. It's going to be really important in the third part of this video, so make sure you make note of that. So again, back to is it science? Well, the science proving that silver is antimicrobial is absolutely there. It's very well established. However, one of the limits that I've seen dermatologists talk about is that there really aren't studies that directly have investigated what does silver in a pillowcase do. I always try to look at other dermatologists' opinions, and I noticed that basically I couldn't find any dermatologists saying this is a bad thing, it's certainly not going to work, it's going to hurt you and give you worse acne. I couldn't find anything like that. All I could find was dermatologists saying, I'm not really sure, but I don't think it's going to hurt you. And that's really important too, and I think that's something that YouTubers need to make sure, or anybody who does reviews needs to make sure we're thinking of is, you know, what is the risk versus benefit? And for what it's worth, Sylvan did say they ran their own studies and found that their pillowcases are effective against 99.7% of a strain of bacteria known to cause acne. Now that's really interesting. I want to read that methodology because I am a nerd. And I can tell you from personal experience, I've been using this for a month, and of course I've seen a reduction in acne, but also I use a lot of anti-acne products. So here's my final thoughts on a silver pillowcase. I think the science is there even if not directly, and I think more importantly, this is the kind of product where there isn't anything that I could come up with that you would have to worry about with this, except for, you know, where are you getting that pillowcase from? Did the company use a technology to infuse the pillowcase with silver that actually will hold up. And I really do think in an anti-acne routine, I personally think I have been seeing the benefits of using this. This is something that, again, months and months ago I was excited about because I liked the concept, but I needed to see it executed well. So thank you so much for sending me this, because turns out I think this is a fantastic product and I absolutely recommend it. All right, friends, let's talk about what many of you asked me about, Jade Rollers. Okay, so I bought a rose quartz face roller instead of jade. Reason being that I read this is the better option for sensitive skin. And as you guys probably know, I've been dealing with more sensitive skin for the past month, so I thought, okay, this sounds like the more reasonable option for me. This was $38 at Sephora. To be completely honest with you guys, I did go into this pretty skeptically. I actually have quite a few skincare tools in my bathroom. I have this little ball thing that's supposed to roll around your eye serums. I have a massage device from Caudalie. And the truth is, I really never use those. I apply my skincare with very clean hands, just washed hands, and it's always been fine for me. But this has been having such a moment that I said, you know what, I'm going to invest in it. I'm going to get it from Sephora, so if I think it's really a load of garbage, I can return it. So I'm going to start this section off by telling you the claims of using one of these rollers, and with great respect to the brand Mount Lie, because I don't actually see anything in their Sephora description that I can, call out as silly. You know how sometimes you'll see, like for essential oils, for example, the people that sell them will make claims that you're like, that's just not true. I've seen some of those around these devices where people say it gets rid of acne, and I'm just like, how? That doesn't even make sense. So what they claim with this is that it reduces facial puffiness, promotes drainage from the face, and relieves facial and jaw tension. Honestly, I agree with all of that. Now, is it because of the magic of the stones? I mean, that's where things get a little into my own personal skeptical territory, but I can tell you something confidently, and that is that this is going to be a cooling tool, a much more cooling tool than my little plastic massagers that I had in the bathroom before. These stones hold a cooler temperature, and when you're rolling a cooler temperature across your face, you are going to see a decrease in puffiness because of that. The claim with lymphatic drainage, I do think that there is some validity to that, although I would like to see a little more specific studies, kind of like the pillowcase we just talked about. If I'm being completely honest with you, I think there is a benefit of this that is kind of hard to describe. So now I'm going to describe it to you by telling you my experience with this. So completely true story. We, in this current apartment that we're going to have for a couple more days, I'm over in the bathroom area, which is kind of adjacent to where the bed is, and my fiance's sitting on the bed. I'm over in the bathroom area unboxing this, using it for the first time. And I just kind of start rolling it across my face. And I guess a lot of time passes, enough time that my fiance kind of yells from the bed, "What are you doing?" And I have an involved skincare routine that she knows that I do every night. So the fact that I was kind of spending extra time, even I'm surprised to hear that I was, because I wasn't aware of it. But anyway, I walk around the corner and I'm still rolling this on my face and my neck. And I look at her while I'm rolling. So my fiance's like, "You bought one of those?" And I'm like, "You gotta try it, I'm telling you." So I sanitize the whole thing, which is really quite easy to do with a little spray bottle of alcohol, get it all wiped off, and then I hand it to my fiance. So we switch places, and now I'm in the bed. And sure enough, a good amount of time passes, and I'm like, "Oh, I see you're enjoying it." So now she walks out and she's like, "You're keeping this, right?" And I'm like, "Should I?" She's like, "Yeah, and you should let me use it." All that story is to tell you that we both really enjoyed this, and we both went into this very skeptically, but it's really and truly enjoyable to use. And as somebody who's really interested in psychology as well, I really think it is so important that if you find something that you enjoy, that holds inherent value in itself. If you are enjoying your pretty, because it is pretty, your pretty little tool, and it makes you spend more time on your skincare, spend more time on your self-care time, which I assume is what everybody's talking about when they say, these are good tools for meditation. It truly feels like me time when I'm using these. I really enjoy my skincare routine, and I already do, but this elevates it for me. And I would definitely recommend these because the little stones do kind of warm up once they've been on your face a lot. So with these, the two-sided ones, you flip it around, and this is especially nice for right under the eye area. And then by the time you get to the neck, you're back to the large portion. And then use the small portion around your ears. Yeah, honestly, I love this thing. I didn't think I was going to. I thought I was going to come on camera and say, you know, I guess it's fine, but I kind of get the hype, and I don't think that this has to be a complicated hype, if that makes sense. So, you know, is this science? Somewhat. But is it psychological? An enthusiastic yes. And I've used this every single day since I bought it. I have no regrets over buying this. Again, if something makes you happier and it makes you enjoy what you do that much more, then it's worth every penny you pay. So that brings us to my thoughts on the Dermaroller. I've actually had this for a long time. It was kind of surprising to me that a lot of people were asking about it because I've had this for a while. But in this video, I'm going to share with you my thoughts on whether or not it is science. So this is another tool that really had quite a moment. I feel like people are talking about these a little less lately. So the claims around Dermarollers include that they can supposedly fight acne, increase collagen production, basically resurface your skin via these needles. Let me take it out of this case. Via these little needles that you roll across your skin. So I think we need to have a quick conversation about why this very well could stimulate collagen. So collagen production naturally decreases as you age, which is why you might want to figure out how to increase collagen production as you're getting older. However, the act of what it takes to increase collagen production, I think a lot of times gets into this kind of concerning territory, at least in my opinion. You know, things that promote collagen production include Dr. Pericone's controversial DMAE, which, if you haven't read up on, basically, is it increasing collagen by damaging the skin? Is that what's doing it? Lasers. So basically, you are damaging the skin via a laser, which increases collagen production. I haven't said yet why. Basically, because damage at the skin signals collagen production. I think that with any of those treatment approaches, it's obvious that there is a level of risk, because the principle here is the damage is the benefit, but therefore there's a hidden risk in between, is there not? Obviously, these are procedures that you can get done by a professional, both laser and dermarollering, but the idea behind purchasing one of these yourself is that you can buy one of these for $20 versus the $625 you'd pay versus getting a professional treatment. So if you haven't gathered by now, I really do think there is a level of risk to using these. For one thing, hygiene. You know, how do you really know that you've properly sanitized a tool that is made to create holes in your skin? It's not as simple as cleaning off stones. With this, these are little needles. And then beyond that, these needles are 1 millimeter versus the 3 millimeters that they use professionally. So it becomes, well, are you damaging your skin potentially with not even proper results? Again, I'm not making this video and stating my opinion to discredit anybody who's had a good experience using a Dermaroller. But I think that what's important for me to emphasize is I would be extremely cautious with the specific tool that you purchase. Again, you see why I made the silver pillowcase comparison in the beginning of this video. See, you know, in that instance, it was, I felt like I wasted my money in one scenario, and I felt like I got a fantastic pillowcase in the other. With this, it's anything from, you could potentially harm yourself. You could potentially buy one of these that is so cheap that the needles break off and get trapped in your skin, and that does not sound appealing whatsoever. Or potentially you buy a good one of these and maybe it works for you. I don't know. But all of this is to say that I cannot personally sit here and confidently recommend this. I can't. I've run my, you know, risk-benefit analysis in my head, and I'd be too concerned about any of you being injured by one of these tools for me to just say, you know, they're great. In my opinion, while the science is there, the science is what proves why this is a risky tool. And, you know, again, if you want to go in office and get this professionally done, great. but I just personally wouldn't trust myself to sanitize this. And honestly, I don't know if I can trust a company to make this tool well enough for me to feel good recommending it. I've said this a lot at this point, but it's really tough to give my opinion when I know a lot of people do like a product, but unfortunately, again, it's just that risk it's present. And I noticed this when reading other dermatologists' opinions as well. I really think that most of them are not going to direct you to a tool like this. And worth noting, it's not like it's the only option. If you do have acne scarring, there are serums like vitamin C or AHAs where even though there is some level of risk, it's a lot lower of a risk than using a bunch of tiny needles rolled across your face. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, feel free to leave your experiences in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.